Good morning, students. Today we will see about the management process, that is the staffing part 1, because it is a big part. So I have divided into two parts. That is the part 1. So staffing is the selection, training, motivating and retaining of a personnel in the organization. Before selection, we have to make analysis of particular job which is required in the organization. Then comes the selection of a personnel. It involves manpower planning to have a right person in the right place and avoid square peg in the round hole. Staffing, the most important resources of an organization are the human resources. Thus, among the most critical tasks of a manager are the selection, training, and development of the people who will the best to help the organization meet its goals. The 8 steps of the staffing process include: the first one is the human resource planning, recruitment, selection, induction and orientation, training and development, performance appraisal, transfers and separations. Nature of staffing. It is a significant function of the management. It's an important part of the management process. It's continuous activity function of the management. It is concerned with the human resources of an organization. It's separate from the physical factors because it is complicated and sensitive function. It deals with maximum utilization of human resources like direction, coordination, and control. Staffing as a management function is committed to acquiring, training, appraising, and compensating employees. Three principles to be understood by all managers are: all managers are the human resource managers. The employees are more important assets than buildings or equipment. Good employees gives a company a competitive edge. Human resource management is the matching process, therefore, it must match the needs of an organization with the needs of the employee. The importance of staffing: filling the organizational positions. Second, making the possible discovery of able staff for the challenges, guaranteeing utmost productivity, developing personnel for shouldering greater responsibility, and meeting upcoming requirements of talented people, satisfying the job owing to the correct placement, utilizing human resources most favorably, supplying information concerning transfer, promotion, recruitment, death, demotions, etc., retaining professionalism among the personnel. The kinds of staffing: there are short-term staffing, long-term staffing, succession staffing, and strategic staffing. Short-term staffing centers of the urgent needs of the company. Long-term staffing, engaging taking a practical approach to company staffing needs, covers at least 1 year. Succession staffing allows you to completely comprehend the duties and responsibilities of your management staff so you can train inside candidate to be ready to step into the promotion to the right person. Strategic staffing, it involves a combination of short-term, long-term, and succession planning. Why strategic staffing plans are important? Because it is competitive advantage, executive development, legal consideration, and cost efficiency. Staffing process, as we have seen earlier, it have the 8 steps: manpower planning, recruiting, selection, placement, training and development, remuneration, performance appraisal, promotion and transfer. The first step is the manpower planning. The manpower planning, which is also called as a human resource planning, consists of putting the right number of people, right kind of people at the right place, right time, doing the right things for which they are suited for the achievement of the goals of organization. Analyzing the steps are: first one is analyzing the current manpower inventory, type of organization, number of department, number and quantity of the departments employees in this work unit. Second, making future manpower forecast like expert forecast, trend analysis, workload analysis, workforce analysis, and other methods. Third, developing employment programs, design training programs. The importance of manpower planning are key to managerial function, efficient utilization, motivation, better human relations, and higher productivity. Needs of manpower planning include: advantages are shortage and surpluses can be identified so that speedy action can be taken wherever required. All recruitment and selection programs are based on manpower planning. It also helps to reduce the labor cost as excess staff can be identified and thereby overstaffing can be avoided. It also helps to identify the available talents in the firm and accordingly training programs can be drawn out to develop those talents. It facilitates in growth and diversification of business. Through manpower planning, human resources can be readily available and they can be utilized in the best manner. Objectives or importance of manpower planning. First one is optimum productivity. Skilled and qualified workers are recruited or they become so through the training program provided by the organization to the manpower planning. Hence, organization can achieve the effective optimum utilization of human potential which will result in the optimum productivity and thereby production is the carried out uninterrupted. Reduction in the labor cost. Effective use of manpower. The optimum productivity will reduce the wastage. It will reduce the labor cost. Effective recruitment and selection. The right person can be placed at the right job at the right time through the manpower planning because future need can be predicted by manpower planning. Therefore, effective recruitment and selection can achieve so that no need to spend much amount on the training and labor turnover can be reduced. Group satisfaction. By establishing mutually satisfying work relationship, all the members of the organization, group satisfaction and team spirit can be achieved. It helps in maximum individual development. Effective manpower planning may help the management in developing good employer-employee relationship. It leads to improve the industrial relation. It maximizes the contributions and satisfaction of the employee of the business. It gives due consideration to the capacities, interests, opportunities, and reactions of the workers to develop future training and management development needs, to avoid a staff surplus and unnecessary dismissals in the manpower planning, to control the wages and salary cost. Recruitment. It is the process of attracting appropriate number of qualified individuals to apply vacant position in an organization. The internal recruitment is the recruitment takes place within the concerned organization. Internal source of recruitment can readily available to an organization by transfers, promotions, re-employment of ex-employees. External recruit. External source of recruitment has to be solicited from outside the organization, but involves lot of time and money. Employment at factory level, by advertisement, by employment exchange, through employment agencies, education institutions by conducting and recommendations, labor contractors. Selection refers to a process of choosing from the candidate those will become employee of the organization. It includes activities such as development of selection criteria, advertising, shortlisting, application form submission, testing, interviewing, reference check, making the final selection decision, submission of medical recruitments requirements. The selection process, the developing the selection criteria, then advertising, shortlisting, vital qualification, advantages, qualifications, look for more information, be reliable on documents, decisions are made on the reason for them. Then selection application forms are issued to them. Then testing, test match and essential requirement of the job. Check the tests are up to date. Check for any bias or indirect discrimination. Then interviewing, permit applicants to display what they can offer to an organization. Confirm if there is any need for any specific arrangement. Have questions prepared in advance. Ensure consistency and fairness in questioning. Focus on real needs of the job. Selection committee is entitled the applicants whether they can fulfill the requirements of the job. It's proper to ask people with disabilities whether they require any adjustment to perform the job. Allow interview time to make their point. Don't make assumptions about the person's ability. Don't ask invasive and irrelevant questions. Reference check. Help guarantee that suitable candidate hired, clarify, verify and add data to what has been learned in the interview. Never reveal information received from the previous employer to the candidate. Best source of information on any candidate is a former employer. On-job performance is the most usable predictor for the future success. Then making decisions. Time to appraise all information gathered, grade applicants, evaluate all information, record decisions prepared and reason for them. If requested, offer constructive comments to unsuccessful applicants. Then medical examination. How the employees are medically examined. Orientation and placement. Orientation is the process of receiving and welcoming an employee when they first joins the company. Information given during the orientations about brief history and operations of the company, the company's organizational structure, policies and procedures of the company, the products and service of the company, location and departments of the employee, the salary measures, the safety measures, the grievance procedures, the opportunities, transfers, the rules and regulations. It enhances the employee morale. It helps in employee turnover reduction. It aids in lessening absenteeism. It facilitates in accident rates reduction. It avoids misfit between the candidate and the job. It assists the candidate to work based on the preset objectives of the organization. Then training and development of the particular employee. The principal objective is to make sure availability of skilled and willing workforce to an organization. Other objectives are individual objective, organization objective, functional objective, and societal objectives. Then need for training are change and development. Different types of training are available, that is on-the-job training and lectures, programmed instruction, computer-assisted instructions, audiovisual techniques, simulations, and business games. Then remuneration. It is the overall compensation that an employee receives in exchange of his service he performed for the employer. There are two types, that is time rate method and piece rate method. Remuneration package, employee benefits or fringe benefits, deferred payment for example pension system, relate to the time, relate to the payment in kind. Then performance appraisal. It is the review and discussion of an employee's performance of assigned duties and responsibilities. The supervisor measures the pay of employee and compare it with targets and plan. The supervisor analyzes the factors behind the work performance of an employee. The employer are the position to guide the employee for the better performance. To keep records, to decide on the compensation package, wages structure, salaries, raises, etc. To identify the strength and weakness of the employee in order to place the right man on the right job. To assess the potentials present in the person for the further growth and development. To offer feedback to the employees about their performance and related status, to serve as a basis for persuading working habits of the employee, to appraise and preserve promotion and other training programs. Advantages of performance appraisal are promotion, compensation, employee development, selection, validation, communication, and motivation. Promotion transfer. Promotion is the appointment of a member to another position within the same department or elsewhere in the organization, involving duties and responsibilities of a more demanding and recognized by a higher pay grade and salary. Transfer is an appointment of a member to another position within the same department or elsewhere in the organization, involving duties and responsibility of similar nature and having comparable pay grade and salary. In some situations, transfer may be at the lesser pay grade also. Then lateral transfer, it's a move a position with the same or a similar job title in the same pay grade. Seniority versus merit promotions. Seniority is an employee length of service in a position, job grouping, or a firm operation. Merit refers to worth or excellence. Promotion by seniority and promotion by merit. Then layoffs. They are usually considered terminations based on the lack of work or capital rather than poor employee performance. They are often temporary. Promotions from inside supports the employees to look the organization as one offering them career growth. Promoting within may also missing the privilege of filling up positions with a well qualified person. Thank you. Thank you for listening.